It's that time again. Zendikar Rising Collector Boosters. We're talking about another Collector Booster product, this time the one with the fetch lands in it. And it's the only place where you can find foil fetch lands. And they're expeditions, but they're not like other expeditions. We're going to get into all of that and the FOMO and the hype and the variants. And we're ultimately going to decide, is it worth it to buy a Zendikar Rising Collector Booster box? The video starts right now.
Special thanks to our Patreon supporters who power our channel. Check out our Patreon for monthly giveaways, exclusive content, and even a starring role in our fan fight series. Link in the description below.
Hello and welcome to the day. Thank you for spending your time with us. I'm Jake. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. Today we're talking about Zendikar Rising Collector Boosters. Is it worth it to buy a box? A box of Collector Boosters is around $230. It comes with 12 packs. It's going to be the only spot where you can get foil expedition fetch lands. It's going to be the only spot where you're going to be able to get foil expeditions in general. However, fetch lands are the thing that everybody is always talking about, and so there's going to be an emphasis on those in this video. If you like these videos where we break down expensive products and we talk about whether it's worth it or not to buy those products, I encourage you to click like and click subscribe. If you are so compelled and you really like the channel, head on over to our Patreon. The link is in the description of the video. It might be a good fit for you. Any level gets you access to the Discord. Everything I go over in the video, I'm going to put in the description. So if there's anything you want to take a closer look at, make sure to go there and click around. Collector Booster Contents. This is what we're starting out with, and this is really nice. Essentially, Wizards of the Coast, they've given us this giant article. So what you really need to know, and this is the Cliff Notes version, is this is going to be the only place where you can get foil expedition lands. There are going to be seeded expeditions non-foil in booster boxes, set boosters, in collector booster boxes. In the product we are currently reviewing, there will be a seeded pack that has 2 non-foil expedition lands. So right out the gate, as you buy this product, you're getting a small chance just to open a couple expeditions. Maybe you're going to get Scalding Tarn, Flooded Strand. There's other options that are outside of the fetch lands that are very good as well. So don't think that fetch lands are the only good lands here. A single 1-card box topper, this is what I was just talking about, with an expedition inside is included with each draft booster box. 2 1-card expedition box toppers are included with each collector booster box. So that's right out the gate before you even open anything. Now, this is the big difference between expeditions because, and I think as a collector, it's my responsibility to tell you this. These expeditions are going to be dramatically different from the expeditions in Battle for Zendikar, which was the first time that we saw expeditions. So it all started here. This was a new thing. They've created golden tickets, and they only showed up in booster boxes. And they showed up at a rate that came down to about 1 in 3 to 1 in 4 boxes. So they were very, very rare. And on top of that, you could pull amazing stuff like Arid Mesa or an important shock land like Steam Vents, but you could also pull these lands that came out in Battle for Zendikar. They're pretty lackluster aside from the fact that you can tutor them. However, they enter the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. So the fact that you had lands that were very lackluster alongside lands that were very desired, like Canopy Vista or, Scalding Tarn Expedition, all of these very important, very meaningful multi-format staples, you had people cracking so much of this set at such an insane rate that it destroyed all of the secondary value of Battle for Zendikar. There is essentially no reason to open that set outside of like 2 or 3 cards. Let's go over to Card Kingdom. We'll take a look at those prices right now. And I'm just covering this before we get into really comparing all of these variants and this collector product to other collector products. There's a lot to go over, so we're just laying the groundwork here. All right, so right here, we're looking at Battle for Zendikar, and this is, we're sorting by price high to low here. And there are cards that are very good. You can see Ulamog, very expensive, $50 card, and Card Kingdom is going to have historically higher prices on some of these cards than you could say find on eBay. I'm sure we could find an Ulamog for around $40 on eBay. But you see Void Winnower has kind of popped up, Omnath, and then you have Draena, Gideon, and then after that, it drops off dramatically. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mythics only one of them that's $50 out of the entire set. After that, a $12 card. And then after that, you have Omnath that's seeing kind of a spike right now. Draina, Gideon? I mean, Gideon is an $8 card. The thing is this set was just mass opened because everybody was chasing Expedition lands. You see all of these lands, Oblivion Sower, they're all like around $3, $2. So Wizards of the Coast saw what happened with this. There's nothing attractive about opening a box of Battle for Zendikar outside of chasing these golden tickets. So we're looking here at the Masterpiece series, and again, this is all Battle for Zendikar, but this is where all of the money is. It's all in these fetch lands. So if you are about to buy Zendikar Rising collector boosters and you think that the expedition lands that come out of those boxes are going to be comparable in price to these, even a third of these, they're going to be showing up a lot more. So it's just something that you need to know. These are so much more difficult to get than the ones that you will be getting out of collector boosters. That is just a fact. I want to see now what the pre-sale prices are like for the expeditions that are going to be coming out of collector boosters. So here we have Zendikar Rising expeditions, and let's go ahead and put it on foils and sort by price high to low. So you can see here that they have already made an adjustment for this, as they are expecting people to have this knowledge or at least understand this in at least some way here. And I'm sure that these prices will adjust moving forward, but it does seem that the community and the pre-sale market, at least just based on Card Kingdom right now, and we will go over and look at eBay as well, but it is good that they are anticipating this and not trying to sell these cards for the price of these other expeditions. I just think the community would probably, they're just, the bulk of people are not going to fall for that. Over here on eBay, we're going to take a look at what pre-sales have gone for Zendikar Rising expeditions, and we're going to sort by completed listings just to see what people are buying. Lots of speed lands selling for around $30 a piece. Find Cavern of Souls sells for $73. That's a non-foil there. Wasteland foil as low as $75. Misty Rainforest $78. Arid Mesa foil $79.95. So yes, these are going for currently about less than 1/3 the price of a Battle for Zendikar expedition. One thing to note about these lands though is that these are going to be coming out of a product that is 2 times more expensive than just buying a box of Battle for Zendikar. However, cracking a box of Battle for Zendikar is not going to be super rewarding. These packs are going to be a lot more explosive and a lot more fun. There are some new lands that came out of Zendikar Rising. Those are going to be very exciting as well. We have all of these new modal dual face cards. So let's finish going over what is in this product exactly. And in the past, I have done reviews of these products, and I'm not going to get into the fact that all of the variants end up tanking with the exception of a few cards. That's just a common thread. We'll quickly go over that. Right here, we're just looking at the Theros Beyond Death variants. And you can see these are the full art cards. What ends up happening is all of the rares in the set end up getting a full art treatment, the rares and mythics. So when you look at these variants, you see Uro, Nyxbloom Ancient, Kroxa, Dryad, Shadow Spear, and you can see after that it starts to drop off pretty dramatically. And keep in mind, these like Thassa Deep Dwelling, Heliod Suncrown, these came out of Theros Beyond Death Secret Layer, so these aren't even part of the set. Even like the Ashiok is as low as $5. Let's go ahead and take a look at the foils, sorting by price high to low, and yeah, Uro, very expensive. Uro, multi-format staple. It's played in Legacy, it's played in Modern, it's great in EDH, it's magnificent in Standard. Everybody knows it's amazing in Standard. And then Kroxa, $129.99, $99.99. And then after that, these cards start to drop off. And again, Card Kingdom is going to have a little bit higher price than a lot of these, but they get to the point where, you're at $10 if you pull one of these foil full art cards. And granted, these are great. It's like, wow, I've pulled a foil temple. Yeah, but you bought a pack that was a $25 to a $30 pack. So are you really happy with the most important card in your pack being an $8 card, a $5 card? And then you could see that some of these foils, you could pull Calyx borderless, and that's a $5 foil. Elspeth, another one of the mythics, it's a $4 foil. And it goes all the way down. These are all foils that you can pull. If you're opening a $25 pack, these are all variants that have tanked. And I'm going to go ahead and put a video in the cards right now, you can go ahead and you can check out this playlist. It's the Is It Worth It playlist. I have done reviews on all of these collector products in the past, and I touch more on how variants tank in those videos, but I'm not going to get into that as much in this video. I'm just going to talk about the major differences in Zendikar Rising Collector Booster from these other products, and that should inform you on whether or not you want to spend $230 on the product. But all of this is just to show you that each of these collector products is going to have chase rares, chase cards, and then after that, a lot of chafe, just like everything else. Just because something is flashy and something is showcase and something is extended art, that's just becoming old hat already. People are already hip to that, and they're realizing, wait, I opened this card, it's a foil full art treatment. I thought this was supposed to be expensive. No, if everything has that kind of treatment, then nothing is going to be special. It's very different from the expedition lands that were in Battle for Zendikar. It's very different from the masterpieces that were in Kaladesh and Aether Revolt. It's very different from even the invocations that popped up in Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation. That was them testing the water. It even goes back to the first time that we saw the variants at San Diego Comic-Con. The first time that we saw that alternate art Garruk, that was Wizards of the Coast testing, what can we do with variants? How far can we go with this? And now we see every single set has a new showcase version. We always see these extended art cards, but the showcase versions will change between each set. It will be very adventurous, like in Ikoria, very stylized, kind of like comic book art. In Throne of Eldraine, we got a storybook frame, very like fantasy. In Theros Beyond Death, we got these variants with the stars aligning, like constellations. However, it's all different versions of something previous. In Zendikar Rising, we're going to have this cool showcase frame, like you see here on this Lotus Cobra. It's got like the diamond, like the Hedron, very beautiful, bright colors. It really does pop. I really like the art a lot. So let's go over this really quick. What comes in a collector booster? Zendikar Rising collector booster. I think that's important. We have one foil double-sided token. So just keep in mind, if you buy in right now and you're able to get your box shipped to you for about $230, you are buying into this product at about $19.16 per pack. So that's not super difficult to recoup that value. However, I did just show you that a lot of the variants that you're going to open up in this are going to tank. And then just like Double Masters, which we just saw, and just kind of like the declining foil price in general. Foils used to be flashy, but now they're honestly controversial. There's a lot of talk that foils warp, so people don't even want foils. We've now seen this big shift with Secret Lair. Wizards of the Coast has heard the community. Every single time we put out a Secret Lair, we're hearing people complain, oh my gosh, they want non-foil versions of these cards. Every time people are complaining about it. So now what have they done with Secret Lair? They're giving us an option. Here is the foil version. Here is the non-foil. Sort it out. You know what the foils are like. Decide for yourself if you want them. So you're going to get one foil double-sided token. We're going to get one foil full art basic land. The full art basic lands, they're beautiful, but they've been reprinted into Oblivion at this point. These ones are going to be beautiful as well, but like I said, there's going to be one foil full art basic land in every single pack. You can expect those to have a price of what I would expect to be around maybe like $2 or $3. Here are completed listings for those. One full art basic island, $1. Oh, plus $1.29. So these go for about $2 a piece. This is price plus shipping lowest first. This was on September 14th, so this would have been yesterday as of the filming of this video. So that's giving you about a $2 estimated value toward your pack. If you don't have foil full art lands, this might be a good way for you to acquire them. Wait until people are opening this product in mass, pick them up then. You're going to get 5 foil standard frame commons. This is going to add no value to the product. Again, this is just like opening 5 normal commons, except they're foil. There's virtually no difference in the price at this point, with the extent at which foils are being printed. Even with rares, there's not much difference in price between a foil rare and a standard rare, unless it's a highly sought after card. There's a caveat with that, which is if it's something like a doubling season, if it's a very powerful card, if it's a Jace the Mind Sculptor, something like that, a Force of Will, there's obviously going to be a huge deviation in price. If it is just a run-of-the-mill rare, some people are just looking for a playable version of the card. Not every card is a speccable, long-term investment. A lot of these cards cards are going to be a flash in the pan. They're going to be important during the standard season that they exist. And then after that, they're going to fall to the wayside. They're going to become, bulk sitting in a binder. People are going to send them out in repack auctions. It's going to be shenanigans. No, that's like the worst case scenario. Some of them will hold their value, but I am telling you that as a collector and what I'm seeing, as someone who has their finger on the pulse and keeps up with other people in the community, we're just not seeing a lot of desirability in these current foils. So even though it's tacked on here and you're like, wow, I'm getting, 5 foil standard frame commons, it's not exactly that big of a difference, and it's not going to add any kind of value to your product. There will be, and again, that comes with a caveat, there will be the Mishra's Baubles of the set. There will be, certain commons and uncommons that are going to be desirable. Some of these modal dual-faced foils, for example, might have more value than what I'm estimating they will, but the rate at which they're being opened is not something to overlook. And I just want you to know that, just as somebody who's been collecting for 10 years, I'm just giving you my opinion. That's why you're here. Otherwise, figure it out for yourself. 2 foil standard frame uncommons, again, just like what I said about the commons. 2 non-foil showcase commons or uncommons. So I just showed you over with Theros Beyond Death, and you can go check out the other videos in the Is It Worth It playlist where I talk more about this. Every single pack is going to have 2 non-foil showcase commons or uncommons. It's just like any other card, it's just got special art on it. 1 foil showcase common or uncommon. Now, if it's something good, we're here at Zendikar Rising variants. These are going to be the cards that you're pulling out of your collector boosters if you decide to buy those. So these are foil prices, and you can see, and I'm sorted by price low to high here, you can see a lot of these commons, uncommons, 50 cents, $1, 79 cents. So even though these look cool, they look flashy, a lot of these are very cheap because there's going to be so many of them that are going into circulation. And this is a rumor, but I have heard that this is expected to be hugely successful. OG Zendikar brought us the enemy fetch lands. It also brought us this, Wave 1 had priceless treasures, where there were essentially Wizards of the Coast went and bought from the secondary market stuff like dual lands, and then those were seeded into the first wave of Zendikar. Zendikar, from what I understand, OG Zendikar kind of revitalized Magic the Gathering, got players really back into it. And so every time Zendikar comes back around with Battle for Zendikar, it was the first time that we saw these expedition lands. We were like, wait a minute, you're putting this ultra rare freaking fetch land, shiny, mythic rare. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It was just something that was unheard of. And then we had masterpieces in Kaladesh, and it was the same thing. But now I've seen so many more of these cards come out that I'm no longer fazed by any of them. I know it's why we've seen such a huge uptick in price in all of these reserve list staples, because it does seem to be that the general consensus is that the reserve list is not going to be reprinted. So you have a lot of people that are taking that money that would otherwise have gone into expedition lands. I mean, we still have, and we will never see, it would be very unlikely in my opinion, for the Battle for Zendikar expedition lands to ever come back in a premium product. They decide to randomly reprint all of those, I think would be, I don't know. I think it would be received negatively overall. I'm sure some people would like it, but I'm sure there would be a difference in quality. It just wouldn't be the same thing. I remember in the Battle for Zendikar pre-release, I pulled an Expedition Arid Mesa. I was one of 3 people in that pre-release of about 45 people that pulled one of these expedition lands. One person pulled the Misty Rainforest, and somebody pulled something else. Anyway, it felt really cool, and I think that was the first time that I really wanted to start collecting variants and collecting highly sought after cards. I remember getting a Flooded Strand and finding a Misty Rainforest for around $200, just adding these into my collection. And when I see so many more variants come out, and you know what, maybe I'll do a collection review where I go through one of my binders if that's something that people are interested in, and I'll just talk about some cards and the nostalgia that comes with those cards as well, maybe go over some of my decks. But when I do see all of these new variants come out, it makes me wonder, how special are my special cards? Outside of the cards that are never going to be reprinted again, outside of the cards that are just, banned for various reasons. Outside of those cards, how important and how safe is it to have all of these shiny cards? It really just comes down to, and I know we don't want to acknowledge the secondary market. For some reason, that's a thing that's taboo. But when I'm spending $230 on a box of cards, when, I don't know if you know this, Xbox just announced that the next new Xbox, like the cheapest version, is going to be $300. When you start thinking about the long-term investment of something, what you really want, what do you need in your deck? In Wizards of the Coast, they were actually really, really nice. They let us know that next year, in about a year, Modern Horizons 2 is going to have enemy fetch lands. So if you can wait, if it's something that you don't need right now, you can get them for much, much cheaper. Just telling you how I feel about it. So one foil showcase common or uncommon, we just talked about that. And one non-foil extended art, rare or mythic, just showed you can really strike out on these rares or mythics. That's why it's really best to buy one of these products that is sealed. I know that some people are going to want to buy single packs, but unless you're buying from your LGS or someone that you trust, you could be buying a pack on eBay from somebody for like $25. And it's somebody who opened most of their collector booster box. They pulled, 2 foil expeditions. They know that most likely the last pack or the last couple packs aren't going to be as good as the ones they've already opened. And now maybe they're trying to make some money back on what they've already spent. I do advocate for buying a sealed box. If you're going to go for it, just make sure that you're getting a sealed product from a reputable source. That way you're going to get the best odds on pulling the cards that are the hits, that are the money cards. However, I do like to get the random stray pack when I go by the LGS. It's always it's fun. It's gambling. It's gambling. All right, here we go. One non-foil borderless or showcase rare or mythic. One foil standard frame rare mythic. And then finally, one foil alternate frame rare or mythic. Now, this is where it's going to be, and we'll just go down here and we'll read about it. This is the one part that I will read. Essentially, you need to know this. One foil alternate frame rare mythic. This is the premier slot in the collector booster. It features only rares and mythic rares in this slot. This is where you could find an amazing foil expedition. This is the only spot that you're going to find a foil expedition in this product. That is the big thing about this review. That's the big make or break. How important are the foils to you? Because otherwise I would take the money that you would be budgeting toward this product, set it aside, pick the cards that you want, and then cherry pick them when this product is being mass opened. Go on eBay, search for the fetch lands. People are going to be opening a lot of this product. They're going to be searching for certain cards, and then the cards that they don't need, a lot of people are going to be selling them back. That way they can recoup their investment. So essentially, this is very important as well. About 1 in every 6 collector boosters, so essentially about 2 packs out of your collector booster box, out of those 12 packs, are going to have a foil expedition. Very bad boxes will likely have 1, and very good boxes will likely have 3. Maybe there will be some outliers that have 4. I doubt it, but I do think we will see some that have as many as 3 foil expedition lands. If you don't get a foil expedition, then your pack will have either a foil showcase landfall card, a foil borderless planeswalker, or pathway, or a foil extended art rare or mythic. This spot also has some potential as well. The foil standard frame rare mythic, this is just a set foil. So if you do get one of the new modal lands that you could pay 3 life, one of the bolt lands, that could be a really good foil that you could hit here. The one non-foil borderless or showcase rare mythic, this slot will contain only rares and mythic rares in non-foil. You will get either a borderless planeswalker, a borderless pathway, or a showcase landfall card. Cool showcase cards, a cool new frame, but the real spot that everybody's going to care about every single time you open one of these packs is that final slot. That is where you could get the foil expedition land. That is the foil Cavern of Souls. So quickly, let's talk about the best lands that you could possibly pull. Now remember, from earlier, I said you're getting 2 non-foil. First, we're looking at the non-foils. Now also, it's important to note that there are only 30 of these showcase cards. And if you're lucky enough to pull the Cavern, or the Misty, or the Scalding, or the Verdant in your seeded box topper, that's going to be a huge chunk toward the investment of your collector booster box. Now, we could go to the end here, and there are only 30 of these, but even the worst case scenario, Grove of the Burn Willows is not a bad land. Copperline Gorge, these speed lands from Scars of Mirrodin, that is not a bad land. Celestial Colonnade, Creeping Tar Pit. These are staples in EDH. They're great in Constructed as well. Celestial Colonnade is one of the finishers in Modern in Control. Then we have Sea of Clouds. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents. These are highly versatile lands that came out of Battle Bond. They're excellent in EDH. They're essentially dual lands. You can't search them up, but if you do have them in your opener, you can just play them straight up. Luxury Suite, another Battle Bond land. Razor Verge Thicket, that's another Scars and Mirrodin speed land. We have Bountiful Promenade. This is another Battle Bond land. Then we have Valakut. This is a combo card. People search up Valakut and kill you with it. Kill you with mountains. Spire Garden. And then obviously the high end, which is your Cavern, your Misty, all of your fetch lands. Prismatic Vista, Ancient Tomb, Wasteland, all very good cards. There are essentially no expedition lands that I would hate to open, which feels really good considering the first expeditions in Battle for Zendikar featured those lands that came out in that set that are just kind of lackluster. You can tutor them up, but other than that, they're just not used very much. These are all much more useful. They have EDH application, they have modern application, they have good constructed application. Those Battle for Zendikar lands that came out, I think you call them slow lands. They are what they are. They're slow. They're bad, in my opinion. Now let's go ahead and search foils because I know we're interested in that as well. And we're going to go ahead and sort by price high to low. Each of these boxes is going to have roughly 2 of these foils that pop up. So Foil Cavern, Foil Expedition Misty, Foil Ancient Tomb, Foil Arid. If you are lucky enough and you pull Foil Cavern and then you pull Foil Prismatic, Foil Cavern is $149, Prismatic is $100. That is essentially paying for everything in your box. Let's say you open poorly as possible, and your 2 expeditions are Celestial Colonnade and Creeping Tar Pit. Now, that's only $40 toward your box, but again, that is a guaranteed $40 toward the box right there. Now, I'm not saying that these prices aren't going to go down and you won't be able to find these cards for less. Historically, we know that that is the trend. Once this starts getting open, once more of these cards go into circulation, that is when these card prices are going to go down. They're going to get very, very low. Don't underestimate the power of the community to want fetch lands. We can see a big uptick in this price. And this product, and the last time I reviewed a collector product, I reviewed a Core 2021 collector, which was one that I wasn't super hyped on. And I talked about in that video my favorite collector product, and I'm going to talk about it in this video as well. My favorite collector booster box is Ikoria. Straight up. The Godzilla layer, that extra variant along with the Ikoria Showcase Triomes adds so much appeal to that product. And I'll show you right now what I'm talking about, because I'm not the only one that feels that way. Ikoria Collector Booster Box sealed. I'm going to go price plus shipping, lowest first. And you can see 240 here, 244. This box has really held its price since it came out the gate. Ikoria is still, it holds a nice, powerful price point. You can see Core 2021 at 215, a little bit less appealing. There's still some good cards in it. However, it doesn't have very attractive lands in the land slots that you can pull. You really do look for good cards that you can pull in those rare slots. So when you're pulling Triomes from Ikoria, it feels a lot better than pulling Scry lands from Core 2021 or from Theros. So when you're seeing the big difference in that price, those are the kind of things that you need to consider. You can see Throne of Eldraine at 250, comparable to Ikoria, most likely because this is the first time that we saw this collector product. Throne of Eldraine also has very powerful cards. We all know about these very powerful cards, like Oko. Throne of Eldraine also has, again, more interesting lands than Core 2021 or Theros. Theros Beyond Death Collector Booster Box, you can see is much lower than the rest, $179.99. You have one here for $185.99. And I showed you the cards from Theros that are worth value, your Uro and your Kroxa. With collectors, it just kind of shows you what people are interested in. So I will say that I do expect Zendikar Rising to hover more around the $250 price range. I will say, based on the information that we have, based on the fact that it's the only spot where you can get these foil expedition lands, it is probably worth it. We look now, buy it now, price plus shipping, lowest first, and we can find them for around $230. Are you interested in this product? What do you think about all of these variants? As a collector, and I want to hear from collectors, I want to hear from players, what do you think about collector boosters in general? Are you hyped for this? Are you excited to get more fetch lands into circulation? I know that I am, but if you can wait, if you don't need them, I mean, what's going on with paper Magic right now? Are people even playing paper? I know that some LGSs across the country are open, but a lot of them are closed. So we're not seeing that big tournament support. We're not seeing formats like Pioneer and Modern have tournament support right now. Legacy, we are seeing people playing Commander over Spell Table. Zendikar is not to be overlooked. Even though people may not play paper, there are still going to be a lot of people that are buying this product and opening and adding new cards to their EDH decks. And there are going to be a lot of new players who can finally afford fetch lands. But if you can wait until Modern Horizons 2. It's going to be in either the third or fourth quarter next year. I believe it's fourth quarter. And if you can wait till then, that's going to be a great time to buy fetch lands for the collection. And again, at Jake and Joel, we always say, buy one of each card and then proxy it for every EDH deck. There's no reason that you need to own 5 cards of something just so that you can put it in every single EDH deck. It's okay to get the most out of your collection, and it's okay to think about what you purchase before you buy it. It's good to do research. I hope this has been enlightening for for players that already know about this. Thank you for bearing with me. I hope you learned something new. And for people that are new, I do hope this has informed you. And just know that if you take that budget, that $230, and you spend it on singles, once these products are being opened, you can find the cards that you want for a great affordable price. But in the future, a lot of these cards are going to settle. They're going to be very low. And there's going to be a few standouts that are very high that maintain the price point that they currently have, or like Uro, go up in price slowly over time. Like the Great Henge. Like Great Henge is one of the biggest cards that came out of Throne of Eldraine. It's one of the biggest reasons that Throne of Eldraine collector boosters have the price that they have. A lot of people want that extended art Great Henge. It's a great card. It's great EDH cards. So when you think about what product do I want to buy, think about its appeal in all formats. Are the expeditions, are the showcase cards, are the chase cards, cards that are going to have multi-format appeal, eternal format appeal. If the card is really good in EDH, and that's the only product that you can get it in, expect that product to hold a certain price point. Are you excited for Zendikar Rising? Leave it in the comments. I hope this has been interesting. I hope this has been informative. Until next time, I'll see you on the flippity. Do people even like the eye stuff? Is that a thing? All right, see you later, Warehouse.